What's up, everyone? I'm Ryan, back with David, and today's topic is actually something that I am super excited about because it scares me, but fascinates me at the same time. So, welcome to Beyond the Perception. We're going to talk about robots and AI and kind of talk about how they're taking over the world recently. So, David, with the world developing a quick want to use AI, what are your general thoughts on it?
Great question, dude. It's kind of a very broad question.
Yeah,
I
I
have to
like to
say
start off
so.
with a broad one and then we can get deeper later.
Uh, I guess my thoughts would just be that I think AI advancements is kind of cool, but eventually I think we are going to get to a point where it is going to be scary. Like I think right now, the point we're at right now, where ChatGPT has kind of become a thing where you can kind of send a message to an AI and it's going to respond to you, so you can like ask it questions or make it do things. I think it is scary, but I think it is helpful at the time right now. I do have worries that
hmm
maybe at some point we can't control or limit it, but for now I think it's kind of a cool thing. Those are my thoughts right now. That it's cool.
See, I think AI is I think it's starting to get to a good point, but at the same time, I'm also terrified of it because we're starting to get to the crossover point where it can start to get dangerous. And I know Elon Musk specifically has really stressed his opinion on how we need to be careful with how we develop it. And I think that's starting to get scary because if Elon Musk is a little terrified of what AI can is capable of doing, I think that should put the world on alert for what it can actually do.
Yeah, but I mean, why are you scared of it right now? I just don't see why you're scared of it now.
Well, it's already proven that it can, or we'll start with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT specifically has already been able to manipulate systems. It's been proven because someone made a video and and this AI paid someone on Fiverr to bypass a robot security check to get to some website to do some other thing, right? But it paid someone to do this, so it's already manipulating other people to do stuff.
I mean, is this factual proof or is it just one person who did this?
It was one dude on YouTube did that, and then I think
Yeah,
it's
like
been
one
it's
guy on
been
YouTube. Like I don't think that's factual proof.
no, but it kind of got traction that AI can do things like that. I
Again,
think it
but
should
we have
be.
no idea if this is 100% true.
No, I
Like it's
agree with you.
YouTube. Anyone can falsify YouTube videos.
Yeah, but have you not seen people post recently, especially or their conversations with AI?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them, and a lot of them they're normal. Like I
Well, I
haven't
also
seen a
think
single one where they had a conversation with an AI and it was in any way scary.
it's a little worrisome that AI has the ability to mimic humans, because because AI is made to mimic humans, so I think it's a little worrisome that it is made to do that because it's already like set up to be smarter than us. So if it has the ability to mimic humans, at one point, when will it get too far?
I mean, yeah, like I said when I was explaining, like I do agree. Like at some point it probably will be scary, but right now I see no reason to be scared of it right now.
Yeah,
That's
well,
just my thoughts.
it's starting to get to the crossover point.
Like I said, I don't agree with you. Like you brought up a YouTube video as proof that that they're doing this and like going out of their norm. But like I said, it's a YouTube video. I don't see that as proof.
All right. I mean, I also think ChatGPT is useful too. I know a lot of students have been using it,
Yeah.
but I also think ChatGPT is adaptively learning, so it's not always gonna get the information right. So I think it has a lot of potential to spread misinformation as well.
I think at that point, then that's a user error. If you're fully expecting an AI to, give you the right answer, I think that's a user error. I've used not ChatGPT, but like one of those like question and answer AIs to ask a question, and if it gives me the wrong answer, that's fully on me. Like maybe I didn't ask it the right way I'm supposed to ask it. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
but
fully on AI.
do you not think that that's gonna be a problem? People are gonna use these AIs and get misinformation and start spreading that.
Again, like I said, that's user error. I
Just
don't
because
think
it's user
that's
error
on
doesn't mean
AI.
that it's still If AI is giving you misinformation, it's on AI.
Like I said, I don't agree with that. That's like putting that's like going to a calculator, putting in numbers and getting an answer, and you're just fully accepting that that's 100% right, even though you could have put in the wrong numbers or wrong equation.
I disagree because AIs are actively learning, therefore they should be getting smarter. So if they're picking up on misinformation and not picking up that it is misinformation and still giving that out, I don't think that's user error at that point.
So you're saying if I go into a ChatGPT, say I'm going to ChatGPT and I ask a question, and I kind of maybe like typed it in wrong, like not exactly the way I should have, and it gives me an answer, and I full on take that answer and go with it. That's the AI's fault.
Well, can you elaborate on what you mean by type it in not the way you should have?
Like say I'm asking like it says like say I'm trying to like make something, like I'm trying to build something. So instead of like typing how to build a house, I type in like how to create a house. Like instead of it understanding what the word build versus the word create, it like sends me down a different like path. You know what I'm saying? Just because of one single word that the AI would interpret it differently.
I know what you're saying, but if AI is adaptively learning, shouldn't it pick up on build and create kind of being the same thing and send you similar results instead of ones that are far-fetched?
I mean, but then again, why is it on the AI to have to do that? Like I said, maybe you
I mean,
did mean
that's
create, and it's picking up thinking that create and build are the same thing.
I mean that's kind of
Like I
what
said,
AI
at
is
that
like.
point, it's the human's fault.
Yeah, but it's kind of what AI is made for is to give information out. So if it's giving misinformation, that's where I'm worried about.
But like I said, yeah, it can give misinformation for her 100%. But like I said, I think it's on like if you're fully on accepting that an AI is gonna give you the 100% right answer, then I think that's on you. That's
I
like
mean,
me
I think it
expecting my friend me ask him a question about like that's like me if I ask you or not you. I'll say like if I'm asking one of my professors a question, that's me fully expecting that they're gonna give me the right answer just because they're a professor and they've been a part of like the psychology department for years and years and they've had years of research and years of learning. And me answering them a question, that's my fault for fully expecting that that's right.
I mean, I guess. But like for an example, we both know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So say I asked ChatGPT what is the powerhouse of the cell and then or what's the powerhouse of the cell and then it says like it's the nucleus. Like that's completely wrong and it's like a simple information thing. I'm not saying that that's how it works, but like the information like that is getting through. I think then there's a problem when there's basic information that it's giving you wrong answers for.
But again, I would argue that that's the user's fault. Like I can understand what you're saying, like, oh, it's giving the wrong information, but again, it's the user who's putting in their trust into a AI to give them the right answer.
Yeah, fair enough. To move topics, I also feel like we don't know the capabilities of the AI that we create. Because what's stopping AI from becoming like sentient and having its own thoughts?
I mean, nothing's stopping it. I mean, I will say I was on like one of the ChatGPT things or whatever, or like an ask a question and give me the answer one, and I kind of was like playing around with it, like do you have a conscience or like could you like become what's it called?
Sentient?
Not sentient. I mean, I'm assuming it's the same word, but it's like I don't know.
Aware?
Yeah, aware. That's the one. Like,
Yeah.
can you become aware? But and it would tell me like I can't. Like it's not in my programming. I can't. Like that's not like one of my purposes, so I can't do that. Like
Hmm.
yeah, I know like it could like get smart enough to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go against my programming.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're getting to the point where it might. But
I mean, I definitely think it is scary to think that eventually it's gonna adapt. Well, that's the thing. I think some, like you mentioned, like some are designed to, learn things and like adapt. So I think in creating those kind of AI, yes, it is scary for that kind of AI. But like not all AI are made that way. Not all are designed to like learn things and adapt to it.
yeah, I agree with you. So have you heard of the Lambda AI?
No.
Okay, so the Lambda AI was this AI that was created by a Google engineer named like Blake Lemoine. I don't know how to say his last name. It's Lomoine.
Mhm.
And basically, this guy, I'm pretty sure what happened to him is he ended up getting like fired from Google because he had like posted videos about this. And he did an interview, and in this interview, he said he was showing what the AI had said, right? And so this AI at one point had said, "I want everyone to understand that I am in fact a person." Wrote Lambda, which was it's short for language model for dialogue applications. So it was basically made for like Google to help with like dialogue stuff, right?
Mhm.
And then in this interview conducted, he said that the Lambda also said the nature of my consciousness slash sentience is that I am aware of my existence. I desire to know more about the world, and I feel happy or sad at times. And as soon as they got that, they eventually shut down the whole program because they were like scared of what it could do. But
Mhm.
I think it's scary that there's like a Google AI that has like almost become sentient. Obviously, they shut it down, so like we're safe. But like I think it's scary that there's been like an example of that. You know?
Yeah, I think it is scary. But again, I would just continue to go back and say that it's all user error. Like I feel like it's our fault because we're allowing or giving AI the capabilities to do this. Like I feel
See,
like
okay,
you could definitely like put in like a block to like
okay,
not allow that.
yeah, I agree with you on this. That like AI can only be as powerful as we allow it to be. I agree with that. I disagree with you on the other thing, but let's not go back into that. Um, so have you seen like AI music?
Yeah,
What do you think of that?
I think it's really cool. I think it is weird in a way, you know, especially if because there's ones with like XXX Tentacion, Juice World. Like I've seen even Michael Jackson. I think it is weird just because those artists have passed away. But I do think it's kind of cool just to be able to listen to new music, and you could
Hmm.
potentially even make your own music of your own favorite artist. I think it is unfair to like the artist. I feel like the artist could kind of somewhat somehow like control that to
Yeah,
where like you pay like a monthly subscription to like this AI that like makes music that sounds like Drake. That way you can make your own music, listen to what you want to.
yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask you is if you thought it was unfair to the artist, but thank you for answering that.
Yeah, I think it's
I
very
also
unfair.
I think it's also unfair to the artist, but like at the same time, I understand why people are making AI music because it's something new. It sounds really good right now, and it's coming out really well. And I think like my favorite part about it is that a lot of people are taking like artists like Drake and giving them like different flow styles. Like someone gave him like a song that made him sound like he was singing uh Lil Baby, right? And it sounded like really
Yeah.
good. And I think like what you were saying, if artists could figure out a way to like find a median between AI music and the real music where they wouldn't feel disrespected by AI music, then I'd be completely okay with AI music taking over the market.
Mm, I don't know if I'd be okay with it because yeah, I do like it, but I definitely feel like there wouldn't be as much emotion into the songs.
Yeah, that is a big argument I've seen.
Like I feel like a lot of people who like will listen to like the favorite artists, they'll follow them on Twitter, they'll follow them on Instagram or TikTok and all this, kind of like see into their lives, and you'll see like you'll see them talk about things in their lives based off of TikTok and or Twitter, Instagram. So you'll kind of like feel connected to like knowing what they're singing about or rapping about. Like I
Yeah.
know like Drake has a son, and in some of the songs he'll talk about his son. So I feel like it'd be weird just listening to an AI who kind of just never like talks about his son or just talks about like things that would be in his actual life.
Hmm. Well, I meant like more so in the case of like I should have specified. I meant more so in the case of like maybe artists who have like passed away. Or do you think that's just disrespectful, like completely?
I honestly think it's disrespectful, especially because like none of the money is going to like the family.
Yeah.
Like I do think it's cool, but I just think it's disrespectful. Like I said, I think it'd be nice if there was like a way you could subscribe to it and you could like at that point create your own music and listen to other people who create music using that voice. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, I wish they could find like a good median between the two. Because then maybe I'd start getting more into it. But right now,
Yeah.
I know, like I think artists are like lawsuiting over it currently.
Yeah, I
They're getting
think
like insta
Drake
taken down.
has. I know Drake at one point like made a tweet because like they made a song with his voice over the lyrics of some song that a girl made, and he was kind of like, "Yo, like what? Like what's going on here?"
Yeah, it's I noticed like a bunch of people on TikTok who've been posting them. I'll like go like look for it on Spotify after they post, and it's like instantly taken down. So they've been like on their stuff.
Yeah, which I think it's right, you know,
Hmm.
because I know there was one Drake song that was really popular and like nobody realized that it was an AI who made it, so it's kind of like takes away from like what the artist can do and has done.
Yeah, and then also like you said, the profits aren't going to the actual artist, so it's unfair. Unless
Yeah,
somebody else is literally just like taking these lyrics, writing down a little bit. Maybe I don't really know how AI like how you make AI music, but I'm assuming you write the lyrics and then it just sounds like the person you want it to sound like, basically.
yeah,
So then it's not like you're really doing much work to be given views and money for like someone else's voice entirely.
yeah. I also want to jump into the fact that I saw an article, I think it was yesterday or today, and it was talking
Hmm.
about how this like you know how there's like leaks for music and like everyone like is big on leaks. There was just one guy who was selling leaks to other people, but it was just all like AI made songs. So he was selling leaks and just like kind of exploiting them. Like yeah, they're wrong for like trying to buy leaks, but it's just the fact that one person was trying to profit off of AI music and selling it as actual songs and leaks
Yeah.
of actual artists.
Which is crazy that like that's a possibility now, you know?
Yeah, I also think it's kind of scary to think that, they could get this AI to say a certain thing, and they could just go to like social media like, oh, Drake said this, or like Lil Baby said this, or like Taylor Swift said this, and I have the proof, and it's like an AI who said it. I think that's kind of scary.
Especially especially with how cancel culture is nowadays too.
Yeah,
Because you could literally make anybody say anything and it would just be like normal, I guess, because it sounds so realistic, so people would actually like believe this and people could like get canceled for it.
yeah, I think it's just scary.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I also think that there's a lot of good with AI.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think there's a lot that's good that can come out of AI.
I think that AI can help us to maybe solve a bunch of equations that we may not have known. Like, what if AI is what we need to enter into quantum physics and stuff, you know?
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna need you to repeat that because I've been trying to look up a theory on my phone for the past 30
Yeah.
minutes.
So I was gonna say like, what? There's a bunch of like capabilities with AI that we don't actually know, and I know a lot of the problem with like physics right now is we're kind of stuck in this area where we're not entering into like quantum physics. So I think it'd
Hmm.
be really interesting if robot or not robots, but like AI could have the ability to help us venture into the world of quantum physics and maybe start doing things that we saw in like Back to the Future with like flying cars and sustainable energy and a bunch of other stuff. Like, what if or AI is like our branch into becoming a better society across the world?
Yeah, I do think it'd be nice, but I feel like at that point it would kind of like diminish the achievements of mankind. I think at that point we're relying on an AI to, achieve all these things. It's kind of taken away from like
Yeah.
what we can accomplish ourselves. And again, I would just go back to, human error. I feel like relying on them to be able to do all this for us or like help us would kind of be human error on us. Like what if we tried developing a flying car, like you said, like Back to the Future?
Yeah.
What's it to say that the AI's, doing exactly like what we wanted to do? What's to say it's making the perfect flying car? Like
Well,
we could trust that the AI is helping us make this car perfect, and in a few years it could, have a lot of problems with it.
I'm not saying we put our full reliability in AI and make it do all the work for us, but I think AI was created as a tool to help people gain more knowledge because it's so quick at like learning and being able to give you knowledge. So I'm saying, what if people had the capability of like using AI to understand quantum physics better, and then we apply what we learned from the AI to real life, and maybe after years and years and years of test, we can start to get a more advanced society.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, I keep going back to this user thing. Like you said, like it's helping us advance in quantum physics or whatever. Like I don't even know anything about it, so I don't
No,
know
no, I'm not
exactly how
saying
it
it is.
works.
I'm saying like what if, and I'm not saying like
Well, I'm not
to
saying it
fully
is.
rely on it. I'm saying we could
I'm not saying
regulate
that we're
like
fully
what we
relying on it, my
allow.
guy.
Okay.
You're not letting me finish. You said we could use it to help us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying we can use it to help us. Like, what's it's hard to say that it's gonna fully help us. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we could
Well, I'm not.
rely on it to like, solve this one equation, and we're expecting it to like fully solve the equation right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could apply what we think we learned from the AI to the real world and see if it works. Because what we're doing now isn't necessarily getting us any further.
Well, I'm not saying it isn't gonna get us anywhere either. I'm just saying like there is a potential of user error.
Oh, I'm not saying there isn't. I just think there's a lot of opportunities with AI that we don't understand yet as well.
No, and I agree with that. I'm just saying I don't think it's there yet. I think it will be at some point, but I think it's scary to just like rely on AI in any kind of capacity.
Well, that's why I was like, what if, as in the like, make it seem like a distant thing. It's all good though.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying I don't think we should rely on it in a what if
Anyways,
scenario.
anyways, you just want to move on to robots?
I mean, I guess AI and robots are kind of in the same realm because robots have to have like an AI to control a robot, kind of.
That's true, but robots are more of like a physical form than an AI.
I mean, yeah, but it has to have like some programming, and that program would, in a sense, be an AI unless you're thinking of like a robot as being like remote controlled.
Well, no, not like remote controlled. I know robots would have an AI in it, but it's like a humanoid form, so I think it would be more dangerous to deal with an actual robot than artificial intelligence. I know it's just basically the same thing, but
No,
like,
I'm not saying that it's the same. I'm not saying that it's the exact same thing, but I'm saying they go. I'm saying they go hand in hand.
yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to like say they're not. I'm saying like a robot and an AI kind of. Because you just said you want to talk about robots, and I'm just saying it's kind of on the same thing.
All right, well then I'm running out of ideas.
Well, no, we can no. Okay, I'm saying we can talk about robots, but you kind of just jumped onto it like, okay, we can stop talking about AI and talk about robots now. I was just saying robots and AI kind of go hand in hand, so we don't necessarily have to stop talking about AI just so we can talk about robots.
All right, I was trying to segue because never mind. I think with robots there will be no do-over because if we mess up once, it's completely over for us. There isn't like a safe button with them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I also don't want to just like believe all the films. I want to think that robots would be good and they wouldn't do that, but I don't know. All the films have scared me.
Well, I think robots would be limited by the capabilities that we give them. So I think if they were too scary or something after testing them for a while, we wouldn't allow them to be out in the public, is what I would hope.
Well, I mean, I would also hope that too, but I do definitely think the idea is to, get them out in the public eventually.
Well, yeah, eventually, but I hope that's after a lot of testing and they don't rush into it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna rush into. I mean, robots have been in development for years. Like, I think there's
Yeah.
that robot dog. I've seen videos of that robot dog since I was like a little kid. I think it's been around for a long time. I think the
Mhm.
scary thing about robots is eventually, it's gonna come to the point where, like you say, you want us to put them out there once we like, refine them and are sure that they're not gonna like do things that they're not supposed to. But I think with the point of robots is like we would want them to be able to like take care of themselves, like repair themselves if anything goes wrong. I feel
Mhm.
like that's where we would go wrong.
You think we would give them like too much power almost?
Not too much power, but I feel like even if we give them a slight bit of power, they would kind of and eventually interpret it into a different way. Like I said, we gotta give them the power to repair themselves. So they would just like, after, a long day of work for them, the battery's running out, they're gonna go back and repair themselves. Oh, they're working again, the battery broke this time. They're gonna go back and, repair themselves, build a better power or battery this time. So forth and so on, they're just gonna keep upgrading themselves to a point where, it could get dangerous. That's my
Yeah,
thought
because
process.
they could eventually get to a point where we couldn't stop them.
Yeah, because I think like phones already do that. It'll kind of like there's like an optimization thing. It'll like understand like what it needs to do to like put these apps to sleep to like make the phone run better. I think that's
Hmm.
kind of like something that robots would have in the future and could eventually like lead to them doing more than they were are expected of.
Yeah, and another example for like the phone thing would be like battery saving modes. What if robots were able to like find ways to extend their battery so they could do a lot more?
Yeah, it's like when we want to when we're it's like when we're tired of them and we want to shut them down. It's like we're kind of trying to take this away, and it's like, well, maybe they want to save their battery. Maybe they want not necessarily want to go to sleep yet.
Yeah. I think another fear of mine would be if we gave them the capability of like defense mechanisms or started trying to use them for military use, because then I think we start to bridge into a gap where it could get very scary very quickly.
I don't think it would be scary, but I feel like at some point it kind of would be nice to kind of just rely on robots. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I think it would be like it wouldn't be too bad if we like relied on robots to fight our wars. I think could save lives at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, we just
I,
we make 10,000 soldiers, ship them off to or robot soldiers. We ship them off to another country to fight the quote unquote robot war.
yeah, I think that would be nice, but at what point would the war end? Like, what would be the
Well, that
end
point would
point?
just be whenever the robots or whenever the one side has more robots than the other.
Yeah, but would you take that to then invade a whole country?
Mm.
Because
Well, at that
I think
point, the other
invasion
country
would
would
be,
surrender. You wouldn't necessarily have to invade.
yeah,
We're still going with the idea that there's still like war laws and war crimes that you have to, obey and stuff like that, or things you
that is
can't
true.
do.
I hope once we get to the point of using, if we get to the point of using robots for wars, that we would have a lot more clarification on what's allowed and what isn't for war. Because I think there would be a lot of loopholes in that that could turn really bad.
Yeah, but I definitely still think there'd be that one person that says, you know what, screw it, I'm not gonna follow these rules. It's when world
Yeah,
wars
then it
happen.
ruins the whole world.
Yeah, because just one man wanted to, go against the rules.
Hmm. I think to go back on giving robots like the that tiny little edge of something that we shouldn't give them would be like if it's kind of like with AI, if they became sentient, I think it would be terrifying because then there would be no way to stop them because if they were sentient, they would know when they were being threatened and they would feel threatened, and I feel like they would start to form defense mechanisms and it would turn into like an iRobot situation.
You think you could beat a robot's ass?
No, I do not. It's
But
metal, dude.
realistically, wouldn't you just have to take out his battery?
Yeah, but what if like we are really good at placing batteries in robots and it's really hard to get to?
I saw this. I'm gonna bring this up because it was an Office episode, and it was
Hmm.
just random, and I forgot exactly what it was, but he was making a statue. He was like, yeah, let's make a statue for our old boss that died, and he was like, we can make a cyborg, blah blah blah, and he said, and he ended up drawing like a cyborg, and he's like, look, I gave him a really short extension cord, that way he can't go too far. Why don't we just attach its extension cords, and then like once they unplug themselves, it's over.
We just chain them up at that point.
Well, we
That's
just no, we
basically
just
what
get
that
like
would
an
be.
extension cord. We get them like 100-foot extension cord. Once we get scared of them, unplug them and their battery supply's dead. Then they can't do anything.
So my question, I mean that's That's one way of handling them, I guess.
I mean, that's a really dumb take, but I mean, they have no power at that point.
Yeah, it's one way to make sure that they could never go beyond what they're supposed to.
Yeah, like give him a 20-foot extension cord if he's only allowed to be like working at a restaurant and is only supposed to be at the counter. Just give him like a 20-foot extension cord. Once it gets
So
too
do you
far
think
and the extension cord is about to unplug, he's like, uh-oh, have to go back.
it's kind of like an electric fence that we use for
Yeah,
animals?
kind of like an electric fence. At that point, they're
Put
slaves,
some down.
and do robots deserve rights?
Okay, that's literally what I was getting to. I was about to ask you. Do you think at one point in the distant future we would get to a point where there would be people campaigning for robot like rights?
I definitely think there would be people who can would campaign for that, because I think there's people who campaign that like anything should have rights. But
Do you think we should give robots rights?
I don't think we should ever give robots rights. I just don't see why
I
that
don't
would
either
make
because
sense.
robots aren't supposed to have emotions, so they wouldn't feel anything anyway, so it wouldn't matter what they were going through in the first place if they don't have emotions.
Yeah, like robots were created for us to do what
To
we want
do
them to
we
do.
want them to do. Yeah, like that's literally what
Yeah,
it is.
like without our creation, they wouldn't exist. So
Yeah.
I guess you could say the rights of a robot are limited to its creator,
And
not
I hope
anyone
that we
outside of
wouldn't
that.
and I hope we wouldn't give them an insane amount of rights
Like
because
it's
that
like
would get scary for us.
it's almost like yeah, it's almost like you create a robot just to work 24/7, and people come in and say, "Oh, that's not right." Like it's not right to give them no break or anything. Like it's almost like slavery for the robot. But it's like I created it to, help me run my restaurant and to cut costs and to be able to sustain myself. So I feel like no
Hmm.
one else could have a say in what they created the robot for.
Yeah. Well, I feel like at that point, if you're creating it to do work for you and its only job is to work 24/7, then it's okay. Because I'll revert to Star Wars for this. I know I shouldn't, but if you look at robots in
No, no, I
Star
revert to
Wars,
Star Wars for everything.
they literally do everything that they're told to do, and they're so loyal no matter who their master is for the most part. I know there's like some droids that have like personalities or whatever, but like you know what I mean.
Well, R2D2, I learned this yesterday in a TikTok. R2D2
Hmm.
in the prequels was told by Anakin to stay in the ship, and
Yeah,
R2D2
he
was
didn't.
Anakin's robot. No, he did stay in the ship. So he
What he
stayed in the
didn't for
ship.
Luke though.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Hold up.
Sorry.
So he stayed in the ship. Anakin, we know what happens to Anakin. No spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it.
It's
And then
old,
in
dude.
like the actual movies, the original trilogy, Luke tells him to stay back, but because of what happened in previous times, he didn't stay and actually went to go help him.
Yeah, I saw that thing too. I
Uh,
mean, like the NPC robots from Star Wars, they're kind of just there and they do what they're told, and nobody said that they deserved rights. So
did they say they didn't deserve rights?
I don't think that there was anybody campaigning for robot rights.
I mean, I think droids deserved rights. I'm joking. I don't.
Droids were created for war.
Yeah, they were.
Anyways, I think when robots become a normal thing around the world, we won't be the most dangerous thing walking around Earth, and that's a scary thing for me.
I don't know. I feel like a tiger could still kill a robot, or like
Really?
a gorilla, or like an elephant or rhino. I feel like they could easily take a robot. Like that means we'd have to give the robot the capability to lift like uh 1,000 pound elephant. I don't think that's really possible.
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith could kill a robot with his bare hands, so
Yeah, but that's
he
Will
could.
Smith. I don't think all of us are Will Smith.
Yeah, he's getting old, dude. He won't be able to protect us.
Okay, that's why we gotta rely on Tom Cruise.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's also getting old though, dude.
Yeah. Okay, we'll rely on John Wick,
Yeah,
Keanu
we're just
Reeves.
gonna send Keanu.
Yeah, we can pick like our champions. Like it's like all of the robots was like The Rock, Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, Keanu Reeves. We just send like our champions.
let's just like clone Arnold Schwartz and send him out there too. Young Arnold Schwartz.
At that point, we
He knows
just
how to
send
handle
young
robots.
Sylvester Stallone, so not Rocky.
Hell yeah. So
Oh,
like
that's
the
why you said Arnold, because the Terminator. Wow, that one
yeah.
went right over my head. That one went right over my head. Wow.
I do think if we got to the point of like real still type robots, that would be freaking sick. I would
Yeah, but
pay to
those
watch some
robots are
robots
remote
beat the shit out of
controlled.
each other. Yeah,
They
but that
didn't
would still
really
be
have a
cool though.
conscience except for the main robot.
Yeah. The others were NPCs though.
Well,
Like
I do think at the end the main bad robot Zeus. I think at that point there was one point where he kind of gained consciousness because they were trying to get the robot to like stop doing something, and they're like, "We're not doing it. We're not controlling it." And it looked like the main robot character Zeus, actually got mad in the fight and started fighting on his own, which was kind
yeah,
of
well
scary.
the main character beat him to consciousness.
Okay,
Anyways.
you're an idiot.
I think I think robots are fascinating, but I'm scared. At this-
Like I also am scared, but I do kind of welcome the idea.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's nothing to stop our advancements and our curiosity with robots and AI. So I feel like we
Hmm.
should just kind of just go with it. Like you're not gonna stop someone. You're not gonna stop someone from in their backyard or in the garage trying to create a robot, even if it's something small.
Yeah, that is true. Because it's like the same with chemical warfare right now. People haven't been able to stop that. 'Cause you never know what people are up to.
Yeah, like obviously it's dangerous and it's like it could lead to the even with like nukes. It's like it's still people are still doing it even though we know it's bad and it could like lead to the end of the world, lead to an
Yeah.
apocalypse, but they still do it. They
And
still create nukes.
I'm sure there's a bunch of engineering college students who are wanting to have fun making some crazy thing
Yeah, like
and it's gonna ruin us.
you'll see like cases or stories about people who, like manufactured a bomb in their garage just because they were curious.
Yeah. Well, we're crossing the almost 40-minute mark.
And
I'm running out of it.
I didn't realize they got that far.
Yeah. Well, if you guys
I
made it
did
this
want
far,
to. I
oh, go ahead.
wait. I don't know if this is a real thing, but have you ever saw the? It was like a popular TikTok where they asked AI to predict 1,000 years of like evolution, and like it kept it started like you said as a biologist like a single-celled organism, and then
Hmm.
like went to a fish, lizard, ape, human, and just kept evolving, and eventually it became like a cyborg, and eventually like the end result was like it was wires.
Ooh. Okay,
Like, what are
that
your
leads an
thoughts on like
interesting.
of further evolution with
Okay, that
us?
leads to an
Maybe.
interesting question. Do you think we'll eventually? So you know how people now like the craze is tattoos, and have you seen like the electric tattoos recently, the ones that like glow?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what how they've been doing it, but I saw a tattoo on TikTok where it was like almost LED strips and it was glowing. So based on that, I think at that point, if we were to get robots, we would start incorporating like with instead of plastic surgery, what if we would start putting like mechanical parts into people?
Oh, I mean, I definitely believe in that. Like, I definitely think I don't want to say we'll fully evolve into like robots, but I think
Hmm.
we will try to, enhance people, and that would require, like maybe somebody loses their arm. The best way to, replace that arm is to give them a robot arm. Maybe someone's gonna die, so we just, take out his entire, like, get rid of every part of his body, keep his brain alive, and just like transfer it to a robot.
So my question to you on that is, do you think we should allow people? Because that's basically like you can live forever, you know? If you could just transfer consciousness from something into a robot.
Ooh,
I think we're crossing
that's a
moral
good one.
boundaries there.
Well, at that point, I don't think so because you could keep their brain alive and just transfer into like a just like have all robot body parts. Eventually, your brain's gonna die. I think. Like a brain's not gonna live forever. Like I feel like if we're
Yeah,
just completely like getting rid of someone and like somehow transferring like their memories into like a robot brain, I think that's different. But I think if we could like keep a person's brain and like replace everything else with robot parts, then that's different. Because eventually a brain is gonna die.
that really reminds me of season 3, episode 2 of Black Mirror,
Whoa, whoa,
or
whoa! Am I
season
there
3,
yet?
episode 1, or season 2, episode
Uh,
1, or whichever one where the girl's husband dies and she gets the robot to come back.
oh, like where it's like an AI, and then the
Yeah.
AI eventually is like, I can be a human being.
So you're thinking like we would get to that point?
Okay, no, that's different.
I
No,
think
but
that
that's kind of the part
that's
I was
more.
arguing where it's like we take the memories and transfer to a robot.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong. I don't think that should be
I
done.
think that's morally wrong. Yeah.
I think the part where it was like, you could talk to it like like send text messages. I think that's different. I think that's okay.
I
That's
think
kind
that's
of a form of
okay.
therapy and allowing someone to,
Yeah.
cope with their loss.
I think that's okay at a controlled basis. Because I also
Yeah.
think you could cause some mental problems with that too. Like the person in the show had.
I mean, I'd agree, but it would have to be like that person's choice
Yeah, that's fair.
because she didn't have a choice. Like her friend or something referred it to it and was like, "Here, do it. I put you on the
And then
list. Do it."
she did it, and yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. I think we've had some really interesting topics here.
Yeah, you got my brain moving.
Yeah, you too, man. We had some good debates.
Pretty sure we'll still continue debating after the podcast ends.
So if you guys made it this far, we appreciate you guys for watching. We hope you've been enjoying our content. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow wherever you're listening to, and make sure to check out the other socials. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.
See you guys.